ended that doubt when sheriff's deputies announced they found...
Here we go right here, these two colors. Like I said, you won't always have the exact colors of the Tiffany blue and the burgundy, but look what you got here. You know, I don't know what that says. I would love to decode that. K-O-H-S. I don't know what that is. Then two, play base of learning. Is something and Noah's, I don't know what that is. Kale, yeah, but look at the colors. Like a Tiffany blue and the burgundy. I will put a video in the link of... So yes, I was stumped. I was stumped last night as to what this is. I mean, the yellow, the letter here, and the letter supposed to be here, I was stumped. But I'm glad I settled myself, and I did some research last night, didn't it hit me? Well, Pearson, that's Noah's Ark. I Googled the area, and yeah, there is such a place. Play-based learning, Noah's Ark. And that area, well, let's just say they talk about Noah's Ark a lot in Idaho, and I want to venture into that because this thing has historical context. There was a sniper that lured the fire department there to a certain area and allegedly set a fire. When they came to put the fire out, 2 firemen were unalive. That's the basis of the story. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Franchise Pearson, and welcome again to my channel. It is the 30th, June 30th of 2025. I have 10:27 a.m. Let's say it together. Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. This is a needed follow-up, and you'll understand why. Don't yawn on this, please, because this information here, I'm sure you're not going to get anywhere else until they see my video. Then they can do their own due diligence, which I have no problem with. You guys in the comments section, I read as well, you figured out what I figured out. You said, Pearson, that's Noah's Ark. And somebody commented, well, Pearson, Noah's Ark, that means the end. Gotcha. You're right. You're right. You're right. One of the first things I want to figure out are the numbers. I believe there's 208-765-6099. When you flip the 6, well, when you flip the 99, you get 666, okay? I'm not picking on this particular learning center. I'm just saying, look at the numbers. The numbers add up to 52, okay? Look at it for what it is. 10, 208, coming up to 10, 765, 18, 6099, 24. 24, 18, and 10 is 52. That's what I came up with, 52. I want to show a few things here. And again, I'll put the Phoenician, the colors, the purple and the blue, Tiffany blue. So obvious, right? Allegedly. What is the end? And what is the beginning? People, here's the actual video. They got this army, I just call them tanks. This is the end. What you're looking at there is the end. The end of what America used to look like. What's the song by Barbra Streisand? The Way We Were, Can It Be? That it was all so simple then? Or as time rewritten? Every line? And if we had a chance to do it all again, tell me, could we? Would we? Memories? Yeah, the way we were. Noah's Ark, it's over with. Get in the boat, start new. God created a new world order because he was tired of that apostate, devilish, sinful land. Well, guess what? They're creating a one world system, people. And to me, it's not a coincidence that this tank rode right past this with these colors because they speak without speaking. God gave me this gift of the 5 C's of clues, codes, colors, the confirmation of time, which includes the dates and conclusion. With that, there's a telltale that they speak without speaking. For the cameras to be positioned to take this, to have this go like this, to me, it's not an accident because they're going to talk. God's got Satan on a leash. He's got parameters and boundaries, and he's got to speak. How does he speak? He speaks in code. He speaks in clues. He speaks in symbology. He speaks in colors. He speaks. Man, it can be overwhelming sometimes, but I push. And so let me break this thing down to you because I tell you it's got historical significance. Now check this out. Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark comes out to 33, which is like Masonic, and 48. On April 8th of last year, an eclipse came over the earth, and it was the X that showed up. You guys have seen tons of videos that I have done. You know 48 means X, something's leaving. Well, just like Noah's Ark, something left and something came. Got rid of the old order and brought in the new world order. You understand what I'm saying? It's speaking. Now look at this here. In Idaho, yes, there is a Noah's Ark Learning Center in both, I can't pronounce that word, but this is where this area was where they were. Also in Boise, Idaho. The one here is a ministry of Pathway Church and has been operating for 4 decades. I'm not picking on the Learning Center. I'm not picking on it. I'm not picking on them. I'm just saying that sign is there. There is also a Noah's Ark Learning Center in LLC Boise. Okay, so they're famous for that, okay? That area, they're famous for that. Now I want you to see something. Remember I said when you add up the sign number, it adds up to 52. 52. Watch this here. I made it a date. 5/2/2026. 5/2. The next birthday is 5/2. Or whatever. The next time 5/2 comes around. May 2nd. Yesterday's incident is 6/29/2025. The difference is exactly 44 weeks. I don't think that's an accident. Because they speak in code, the numbers. I added it up, comes out to May 2nd, 2026 next year. Yesterday's incident, 6/29. The difference is 44 weeks. See that? What is 44? I believe the Antichrist is Barack Obama. 44, he was the 44th president. Is that coincidence? Now watch this. There was a thing, I did a historical check. Remember this here? Gotta Google this here, right? In August 1992, on August 21st, deputies of the United States Marshal Service came to arrest this guy, Weaver, under a bench warrant for his failure to appear on federal firearms charges after he was given the wrong court date. The charges stemmed from Weaver's sale of a sawed-off weapon to an undercover federal informant who had induced him to modify the firearm below the legal barrel length. There was a standoff and there was a shootout. It was called this here back in the day. You guys, my age, you'll know it. Or if you know history, you'll know it. Read about this. This is very important. I'll be real quick about it. During a surveillance operation, Officer Art Ruddick shot Weaver's dog when it ran at them and then pointed his rifle at Weaver's 14-year-old son, Samuel. That's a biblical name, Samuel, who was armed. Samuel fired back at the marshals and was shot in the back and killed by the team. In the ensuing exchange of fire, Weaver's friend, Kevin Harris, shot and killed Deputy Marshal William Francis Deegan, Jr. Weaver. Harris and the members of the Weaver's immediate family refused to surrender. So there was a standoff, and then they finally surrendered, and then there were lawsuits. Like I said, it's lengthy. Check it out. But I'm gonna show you some connections here by the numbers, allegedly. Okay, see this guy, Randy Weaver? This is the guy they were after. The police were after him, okay? and then a shootout occurred. Okay, now we're gonna check this out. Watch this here. I want you to look at something. The date of this incident was August 21st. August 21st, 1992. Check August 21st, 1992, that incident. Yesterday's incident, 629, where the two firemen got killed in Idaho. The difference is 32 years ago, 10 months, 1 week, 1 day. Look at this, 32, but look, 312 days. What is 312? It's coincidence because Trump won by 312 votes when he beat Kamala Harris in the Electoral College, 312. Then look, 444. I've showed you that a lot of times. 4 and 4 can be 8. Then 84, Barack Obama was born August 4th. Also, I have in my picture, I have a picture of the rapper Jay-Z, where he has a crown of thorns on his head, and it says 444. See if I can find that. I've showed it before. But yeah, Jay-Z has a crown of thorns in his head. Let me see. Oh, here it is here. See that there? 444. Crown of thorns. 4 and 4 is 8, and you got remainder of 4, August 4th. Barack Obama was born August 4th. But the thing that stood out also, like I said, 312 votes, Electoral College, Trump won. This could be Obama, August 4th. But look at this. Between the time they had this shootout back in the day, between the time they had the shootout back in the day on 8/21/1982 versus yesterday, you get 12,000 days, 12,000 days. I want to show you something. This is deep, y'all. This is deep. 12,000 days. Look at this. Then there's the Sky Cycle launch site, a gravel ramp leading to a 1,600-foot jump across Snake River Canyon, attempted in 1974 by Daredevil Evel Knievel. Swim a ways upstream and you'll find an ancient petroglyph map dating back as many as 12,000 years. 12,000. Now look, that says 12,000. And so does this. Now why did I read that? Remember, they had a shootout in 1992. People died yesterday, fire department. That's 12,000 days. And now we have coincidence. What am I reading from? 14 monuments and museums only in Idaho. They got a place that's 12,000 years old. Is that coincidence? Now, let me tie it all together. I know it's deep, right? All this coming together. 12,000. The numbers speak. And I believe the powers, they do these things and they have them hid. They have them hidden. You just got to dig them out. So yeah, 12. Let me show you this here. This is the guy they were after back in the day in 1992, right? Look, that's his birthday, and that's his death date. May 11th, January 3rd. Watch this. Where am I at? We have May 11th. May 11, 2022 is when he died. Okay, at 74 years old. I'm gonna get back to that. Check May 11, 2026, anniversary of his birthday. Yesterday's incident is 629. The difference is what? 316. What is 316? That's sacrifice. Like Jesus sacrificed for our sins. Also, it's 45 weeks. Trump is the 45th president. Is that coincidence? Are these situations twined? And he was 74 years old when he died. Now, you talk about a new beginning. If he died at 74 years old, guess what happened to Trump at 74 years old? Trump lost to Joe Biden the first time around at 74 years old. He sure did. 306 votes to 232. 306 versus 232 is 74. So Trump lost by 74 votes, and Trump was 74 years old at the time. I've done videos on that. In other words, the new beginning happened between Joe Biden and Trump. I've been talking about that for a long time. What a coincidence. But now, check this out. Like I said, we got this 1,200. We got this 12,000 years in Idaho over this canyon. Okay? Now, what's the name of the canyon? Leading to a 1,600-foot jump across Snake River. What does Trump always talk about? The poem, the snake. Is that coincidence? Also, what's 1,600? What's the address of the White House? 1,600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Is that coincidence? Okay, now watch this. You know the name of the place that they were talking about earlier? Where was I talking about? When I was doing the research, what was that at? I had that word petroglyph. Losing my spot. I had talked about it. Can't find it now. Reference point. Well, yeah, petroglyph. Anyway, I forgot where I had it, but remember, I mentioned the word petroglyphs. Okay, look at this, people. The Konkan region of this here, Angola, is home of ancient petroglyphs, some of which date back 12,000 years. There's your 12,000 again. Is that crazy? 12,000 keeps coming up. 12,000 keeps coming up. It came up in my decode, 12,000. And it comes up here with this mountain with Evel Knievel, 12,000. Right here. And it comes up here. Now, what is this petroglyphs? What is that? I've shown that before. What are the oldest? Okay, how long does it take for a petroglyph in the museum? Let's see. Petroglyphs. How to tell what is the oldest petroglyph? What is the mysterious 7? What are the oldest petroglyphs? Petroglyphs. Here's petroglyphs. How long does it take to petroglyph in that museum monument? Let me just Google that. I did it earlier. Petroglyphs. Definition of petroglyph.
Here's the definition of petroglyph: a rock carving, especially a prehistoric one.
So rock carving, it's a rock carving. See right there? Prehistoric. Look at that. An image created by removing parts of a rock surface or an incision, picking, carving. Look at that. Rock art. Prehistoric. Right? Rock. And so it's like a map too, they said. But yeah, what do you guys think? All this stuff, I believe they're talking about that. The question is, what are they telling us? That's the question. Now check out these videos. It's gonna blow your mind. Listen to the numbers.
A lot of assets that came into that command post. And then we had a briefing about 6:30, about 18:30 hours at the command.
6:30, that's 36 is 666. Now listen to what else he says. Watch this.
Post. And in that briefing, we kind of gave an update to the agencies that this is still an active shooter, and that as soon as this individual could be neutralized, that he should be neutralized and the threat should be eliminated as quickly as possible. At approximately 1940 hours, we did have information that let me back up just a second. We had a cell phone
Watch this.
activation
Watch this.
that was in the same spot since about 3:16.
Hear that? 316. Matches my decode, don't it? What do you think, people? You think part of this stuff is manufactured? 316? Look, 5/11 is the birthday of that guy way back in the day when they had that shootout. And yesterday's date was 6/29. The difference is 316 days. And he just said 316. And you know what 316 means? Sacrifice. In order to bring in a new world order or start something new, you got to have a Noah's Ark moment. See how it all ties in? Listen to him.
That was in the same spot since about 3:16. And that...
See, people, that's why I do the 5 C's. You think this is coincidence, or you think they script this? And so now when you find out who the shooter is, who they haven't said, they haven't had a name, he's probably going to have a manifesto. He's probably going to say that he was crazy. He was kind of out there, left ring, white ring, hated Trump, whatever. I'm not going to wait for the name. There's enough clues here to let me know there's something going on inside somebody's head. Hint, hint, okay? And they're just building the story. All right, here we go. Listen to this.
Idaho this morning. Police there say the gunman in the deadly firefighter ambush is dead this morning as they now search for a motive. 2 firefighters were killed. 1 more is now fighting for his life in the hospital. Police say that man intentionally lit the fire in the mountains to lure crews to the scene and then shoot them with his rifle. News Nation's Nancy Liu is live on the scene in Kootenai County, Idaho this morning. I mean, Nancy, what an awful story. What comes next for investigators after this tragedy, and anything new overnight?
Yeah, very tragic for this area and Coeur d'Alene, but the immediate task right now is putting out that wildfire, which is burning not far from here on Canfield Mountain. We are not allowed near it. It is now 26 acres, we're told. It is called the Nettleson Gulch Fire, and much of it is a crime scene. As you mentioned, the suspect is dead. His body...
Now, you might not get this, but I'm going to put it out there. This is a deer. In Leave the World Behind, there was a deer. There's deers. Remember that? Leave the World Behind movie. Remember the deer. Is that coincidence? Now let's go into the numbers. I forgot about that earlier. Let's take it literally. Let's take yesterday's incident, which is 6/29, 2025. Leave the World Behind came out on Netflix on 12/8. And let's see if there's a connection here. Well, 12/8. And that was 2023, the movie came out. Nothing there that I can see. 12/8/2023. And we'll see if we bring it up to current. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. So yeah, we don't have a connection there, but I thought I'd go for it. So it was exactly, well, I see a 622, but I won't use that. We're talking exactly 569 days ago, the movie came out on Netflix. So yeah, nothing there. Okay, so let's go to this next one, then we'll wrap it up.
Morning, Kate. Well, the plan today from authorities is to go back to that location where the body of the shooter was found. for further investigations. What are they looking for? They're looking for more weapons and more ammunition that gunman may or may not have had with him. Now, they had to remove the body from the location relatively quickly, they said last night in a press conference, because of the threat of that fire. So we have not learned any further details about who this gunman was or what were the weapons that he had with him. But we did hear from the sheriff of Kootenai County here in Coeur d'Alene talking about the very nature of this.
All right, and the last video, one more connection, I'll show you some
And
numbers.
this morning with a shocking attack on firefighters in northwest Idaho. 2 firefighters are dead and a third injured after a gunman opened fire on them as they responded to an intentionally set wildfire in what officials are calling an ambush. For the latest on this, we're joined by CBS News' Naomi Ruckham. Naomi, good morning. So while investigators are trying to piece this together, firefighters are still...
Now notice this. Of course, the background is always like that. But this is the guide. See that? The orange and the red, that's the sun god Ra. Okay? Just want you to know. And her colors match that, because this is like a sacrifice going on in Idaho. Okay? That's what I'm saying allegedly. It's a sacrifice. So the colors, they usually run with the colors to match it. Then you got the all-seeing eye of CBS, okay? It's not a coincidence. That's just the way their borders work, okay? But check this out. Watch this here. I'm going to show you something.
trying to put out the flames.
Yeah, it's a really tragic case and a lot for them to deal with this morning, Michael. We are also hearing more about the many challenges that happen when there's a tragic incident like this one from this morning, Michael.
Watch your hands.
We are also hearing more about the many challenges.
See her hands? See how her hands go? This is common, especially when they wear the colors.
Challenges that happen when there's a tragic incident like this one.
Now watch. Just like I said yesterday in the colors, look at the helicopter. See the colors?